G'day and welcome to Drive Time for today. We're here in wet, rainy Las Vegas, so means the rolls gets put away even though it's spring. Spring rains means the Cadillac gets a run. Anyway, we want to chat today about being an entrepreneur, and I had two conversations over the weekend with people about being an entrepreneur and about being your business owner, owning your own business. And it's real interesting that when you own the business, when you are the boss, when the buck stops with you, when there's no one else that can be a part of it, when there's no one else that has any say in what goes on, ultimately, absolutely your team contribute, absolutely your team make a lot of decisions. But ultimately, when the buck stops with you as an entrepreneur, what has to happen is you have to understand the fact that it isn't going to be the easiest road. Now, that being said, does it make it not worth it? I want to chat to you about how to get over the loneliness of being an entrepreneur, because there's no one to really talk to. You can't talk to your staff about your problems. You don't want to take your problems to your banker or your accountant, or you don't want to take your problems home if you're a business owner. So how do you get through the whole being on your own as a business owner thing? Because really, as a business owner, you are on your own. You are the person that has it there. And yeah, you can have me or one of the action coach team coaching you, so you're not truly on your own. But how do you actually get through that? Because the loneliness of business ownership is not something that's easy to overcome. The self-doubt, the decisions, am I doing the right thing? All of those challenges of business ownership come up day in, day out. And sometimes they come up more often than others. But there is a methodology by which I've found that you can actually every day approach business with a high level of confidence, a high degree of certainty that what you're doing is the right thing. And if you approach business in that way, I find that you get far more success with it. If I can be really blunt, when the average business person falls into a bit of a funk, or gets themselves into a place where they're not making great decisions and they're not doing the best thing for the business and for themselves, it can be hard to get out of it. It can be very hard to get through that. Oh, and thanks for those of you typing in where you're at. Really appreciate that. It's good to see we're up in Canada, across in Ireland, down in South America. Good to see. Type in where you're at, gang. You know that's one of the things I enjoy about Drive Time. Anyway, if you're finding yourself in that funk, if you're finding yourself in a place where you're not loving the business, where you're finding yourself feeling like you need to reach out to someone, feeling like there's not a thing, here's the things that I've found that help you get through that space. And to make it even more blunt, are you going to have times like that if you run your own business? Yes, if you run your own business, there are going to be times when it is not all roses, not all sunshine. Here I am in rainy Vegas today. There are times when business is rainy. There's times when it's not the most exciting thing. But there are ways to get through that. And so let's chat through that point as to how do you make it that every day you go into business, things are doing good or great or better than that, mentally as well as physically in the banking department. So first things first, you gotta catch the fact that you have actually decided to be in a funk. You gotta catch the fact that you've decided to make a decision other than to be excited about your business. To me, that was always my hardest one, because when I got into a funk about business, I didn't. All right, let me be real open about it. When I got into a funk about business, I let it impact other areas of my life. So I allowed the negativity in business, or my perceived negativity in business, to impact other areas. And of course, if business is making me feel a bit vulnerable or a bit crazy or a bit nuts or even a bit down, and I bring that home, then boom, I'm going to absolutely destroy where I'm at. So I'm going to bring it down further and further. So my key here is, first of all, acknowledge where you're at. Acknowledge what's going on. If you're having a great time, acknowledge I'm having a great time. And understand why you're having a great time. If you're having a bumpy time, acknowledge that. Second one, separation between home and work. You got to be able to learn to separate home and work. That's why I first started writing a list at the end of every work day of everything I needed to get done tomorrow. Make the list, write it down, get it out of my head on a piece of paper so that I can absolutely clearly let go of all of that stuff that's going on at work and not bring it home, not bring it to my family, and not make the rest of the world funky as well as work being funky. And yes, I have lost my Australian accent. That is true. I've been living here in the States since 1998 off and on, and permanently since 05, and with 5 kids, all American, wife that's American. I don't know, you know, that's the way it is. So going back to it, first acknowledge where you're at. Second, make a decision, separation, separate work and home. So at least if you go home, you don't take home the negativity or that sort of stuff. Also, sometimes you don't want to take home the absolute positivity at work. If the family's in a bit of a funk, you want to match and mirror that sort of stuff. But that's a whole other subject. Third thing you want to do is this. Have at least 1 or 2 business owner friends, okay? Friends who own their own business. And set up an actual relationship with them where it's okay to talk business. Where you say to them, listen, I need to talk business for a little while. And preferably do that in a way that you just say to them, listen, I just need to dump. I just need to dump this stuff out there. I need to get it out of my head. You're the only person who'll actually understand. But you need that. And if that means joining a mentoring group or joining a business group or something, but I think it's more than just joining a group. I think it's more than that. It's having some business owners who are willing to chat and listen and do all that stuff. 4th and 5th, the 2 most important ones, okay? 4th and 5th, 2 most important ones. Here's what I found. If I ever get into a business funk, I notice the reason I'm doing it is I'm not actually focusing on all the great things. Personally, I go and pull out all the testimonials from past customers. I go out and grab all past customer testimonials, written ones, video ones. I go and spend some time with my existing customers. You know, I found that if I spend time with customers, my good customers, a lot of the negativity of business disappears. I find that my good customers are a savior to my sanity at times. And even doing drive time like this, some of you guys write back to me after drive time and tell me how 20 years ago what I did changed your business, or 15 or 10 or however long ago I taught you something, or my book Billionaire in Training that I wrote, you know, forever and ago. Whatever it is, but spend time with your good customers. I think in business, a lot of the funkiness and craziness disappears when you get that time with good customers. Finally, 5th one, I think this is probably the most important one, that if business is ever getting you lonely or ever getting you down or ever becoming more of a challenge than it needs to be, get back to basics. Go back to the absolute fundamentals of what made you successful in the business. Go back to doing that core thing. You know, for me, it's getting on stage, writing books, teaching. I know when I get on stage, all of a sudden, all the other business challenges, all of the things of, you know, whether it's one of my companies growing in England or one of the companies here in America or something down in Australia or, you know, wherever it is, if I get on stage, all that stuff just, you know, pales into insignificance. I think that getting back to basics is real important. Anyway, they're just a few of the things I do when I notice business is getting lonely or when it is getting to be a bit funky. Whatever you need to do, do that. But get it out of your head, get it down, get it out of there. Talk to someone, get it on paper, write it down. But get back to the basics and go hang with some good customers. Anyway, hope you enjoyed drive time today. Look forward to chatting to you again tomorrow. Hope it'll be sunny again. I can pull the rolls out. I do love driving around in the convertible during the spring months here in Vegas. Bye for now. Have a good day.